So what do y'all think about the DLC? We're up to like 44 people now. I might as well get started talking about it because people are gonna ask me about it. What are y'all thinking about it? I'll tell you what I think, but I want to see if we got people that are pissed off. Because I would love to talk to somebody who's mad. So the price I understand, but think of it this way, right? So the move to DLC is actually more consumer friendly than what they've been doing. Because what they were gonna do is gonna make us pay $60 for the exact same game plus the DLC a year from now. That was their original plan, right? They were gonna release Ultra Sword probably at one point, and they were like, yeah, we'll release Ultra Sword. We'll do it a year later, and it'll be just like we did DLC, but we can get paid full price game. But they didn't do that. Instead, they went with DLC, and it's half the price of a normal game. So it's already better than Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which is like, you know, not a super hard thing to do better than. That was a really like consumer friendly option. So that's my first take. My first take is that if they were going to do anything, right? Because obviously what we wish happened is the game that's going to come out a year from now came out now. And that the game was just good from the jump and it had all the Pokemon in it. That's like the ultimate scenario. The Pokemon themselves, you'll still be able to obtain as being a guest in other people's raids and via trades and all kinds of shit. So like, you're not even like locked out of the Pokemon that they're adding back in like you were with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And with ORAS. Like you go back to X and Y, right? Imagine Sword and Shield is actually X and Y. Okay? So go back to X and Y. X and Y comes out, right? You play the game, there's new Pokemon. You know, Pokemon Bank isn't out yet, so you can only use the Pokemon in the Kalos Pokedex. And then you get to the end of the game, and the Elite Four only has fucking 4 Pokemon per member of the team. And the highest level trainer in the game uses a level fucking 64 Gardevoir. And that's it. That's the end of the content. And then there's a Mewtwo and the Kanto Birds, who's like, come on, we've caught Mewtwo and the Kanto Birds before, guys. Like, you think we're really going to get hyped to catch Mewtwo and the Kanto Birds for the fucking 5th time? X and Y comes out, game is bare bones as fuck, has no post game. And we're like, okay, they're going to fix it with a Z version. Or some DLC. Not got fucked with X and Y, in my opinion. Yeah, Galarian Moltres is fire. So, wait, hold on. I haven't even gotten to, like, the content portion of this, right? Like, I first want to talk about the philosophical part of it. So, yeah, X and Y comes out. We get no Z version. Zygarde, the whole thing with Zygarde, the cells, all that shit, they just go, we'll just throw that into the next game. We don't need to worry about any of that with X and Y. We'll just plop him down, and then for whatever reason, Zygarde is also in Alola. And you do his whole thing in Alola for some nondescript reason. Whatever. ORAS has new megas in it, and for no good reason, the new megas that they added could not be used in X and Y. Like, you think they couldn't have patched it back then? Of course they could have. Oh my god, of course they could have done that, but they didn't. Gen 6 handled terribly. Then they drop ORAS, right? And even in addition to the Megas thing, they fucking dick tease us. And they say Battle Frontier coming soon. And we're like, oh, Battle Frontier DLC? That doesn't happen. Cock-blocked again. And then we're still like, okay, well, maybe we'll get Z version after ORAS. Still doesn't come out. Gen 6 ends. And we get Sun and Moon. And it has like also almost no post game. It has a little bit more, but it's got like the rest of Pony Island and the Battle Tree. And that's all it's got. And then a year later, they go, hey, here's the exact same fucking game with a slightly different story and 8 Pokemon that you can't use in Sun and Moon. So now I'm like double pissed, right? Because Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was straight up DLC. And they dropped that bullshit. And now, okay, and so now we get Let's Go Pikachu as the first game on the Switch. That's whatever. They say, oh, you know, we're going to release a 3D console game. We're going to do a 3D console game. You know, we need extra time. I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, all right, cool. Make your Let's Go game. It seems easy as fuck. People will buy it. It's a good idea to get Pokemon Go people onto the Switch. I respect the decision. I played it. It wasn't that good, but it had shiny hunting and 6v6 battling, which I'm fucking cool, which I'm about. So it wasn't that bad. Then we get the Dexit announcement, and we're like, dude, this is some bullshit. And it was some bullshit. I to this day do not understand how Dexit ever had to happen with this generation. I still do not to this day understand it because of how much money they have. Hello, Avery. But that is what it is. So fast forward to the Sword and Shield release, and we're like, man, this game has potential, but it seems really bare bones. Seems like there's a lot of content missing. It seems a lot like X and Y. And as soon as I saw that this game was a lot like X and Y, I was like, oh man, we're about to get dicked. We're about to get dicked hard. I thought for sure after I saw what Sword and Shield was, we were getting Z Sword and Z Shield, or Mega Shield and Mega Sword a year from now. What happened to the future proof that they did? I'll actually get to that in a second. So like a year from now, I thought we were going to get Z Sword and Z Shield. They were going to add Megas back in some portion of the decks. Obviously we didn't get that, right? We got DLC. And their excuse for not having all the Pokemon in the first place, right? Their excuse for not having all the Pokemon in the first place was that they wanted to add new animations and stuff, right? And then we saw the battle animations and we were like, those aren't new. That's the same shit. And then we saw the walking animations in the overworld and we were like, that's not new. That's the same shit. But we didn't see it was Pokemon Camp. Features like Pokemon Camp and the raid battles and the Dynamax animations, that stuff is new. And so those things I understand. To do that for all, like now we have over 1,000 unique Pokemon models. So because we have over 1,000 unique Pokemon models, I can understand that they didn't have all that done for all the Mons, and they might not have had enough time to do it all once they started doing it, once they realized like how much of it they actually needed to do. They could have severely underestimated it because they're not used to making a 3D game and a whole system like that, and they thought their team can handle it, and then it couldn't, and then the deadline came up and they had a decision to make. So the deadline comes up, they have a decision to make, they go, what are we gonna do? Aren't the camp animations the same or similar as Pokemon Refresh? Some of them are, and some of them are not. So there's all these little animations that happen in Pokemon Camp where like Pokemon interact with each other. Like there's this one where like Gengar like does, there's like a bunch of goofy animations and weird interactions and stuff, like Pokemon behaviors that were programmed into them. They actually like wander around and do stuff of their own accord. I'm not saying it's super complicated, but it's like there's enough new shit there that I can understand how they underestimated how much work it would be, and then they were like, oh fuck, we can't get all the Pokemon done by the end of the year. They realized it at some point in their development. They realized, oh fuck, we're not gonna be able to get all the Pokemon in the game by the end of 2018 or 2019. And so they went to the Pokemon Company, and Game Freak was like, yo, the Pokemon Company, we need to delay. And the Pokemon Company goes, ha 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 ha. Delay? Sorry, silly boy. There will be no delays. There will be no delays. We have an anime to release. We have merch. We have trading cards. No. You got to drop the game. There's new mons that need to be dropped. And they're like, oh, okay, fuck. So what are we going to do? And then they come up with a genius plan. They came up with a genius plan. They said, we can't finish all the Pokemon in time, but you know what we can do is we can finish 400 of them. So they do the 400 of them. And then they go, all right, we can finish 400 by the end of 2019. We're going to drop those. And then they go, all right, and then we're going to do DLC over the next year. Add the part of the game. All right, see you, Dan. Add the post game, because they were like, we're always lacking on post game. So they were like, all right, well, we just won't release the post game at the end of 2019. We'll add all the post game. We'll add more Gigantamaxes. We'll break up the game into 3 sections because we're not going to be able to finish it all by the end of December. because Nintendo Pokemon Company is breathing down our necks with that deadline. So they break the game up into 3 parts. The main game. They had a good post game already. I don't know about that. I think the post game is pretty light. I think the post game's pretty fucking light. It's decent. It's decent, but it's light. There's only one battle facility. There's no gym leader rematches. Oh, there are, I guess, in the fucking Pokemon tournament. Man, that tournament is mega boring. It's mega boring. And the post game that they had was also super short. Anyway, the DLC is the better plan, is all I'm trying to say. Of the alternatives that we got, which were, we were either gonna get Sword and Shield 2 or Z Sword and Z Shield. And that would have been a full price game. That's sucky option number 1. Sucky option number 2. Sucky option number 2 is we get like Let's Go Diamond and Pearl. And they do like a Let's Go game in Sinnoh as the Sinnoh remake, and it's really just dog shit, and everybody hates it. And that's the game we get next year, and then we get Sword and Shield 2 the year after that. That's also a super shitty scenario. Instead, what do we get? They get 2 years. They get 2 years now to work on Diamond and Pearl on the side. They get 2 years to work on Diamond and Pearl on the side. They just have to finish the DLC for the next year. That's probably a small team, a half team, right? Because they have a large chunk of the map and everything obviously already done. It's all just, tuning it at this point. And doing art and animations. And then I will go back on the record saying that the Diamond and Pearl remakes are going to be the best Pokemon games ever fucking made, because they will be the games of 8th gen that have all the mods in it and all the new shit. I bet you I'd rather wait 1 extra year to have a good game, but that's what you are doing. You are going to wait 1 extra year to have a good game. You're going to get a very, very good game 1 year from now. And then you're going to get an even better game a year after that, in 2021, when fucking Diamond, Platinum, Pearl, whatever comes out. Because make no mistake, it will.